Claressa Shields opens up on Serena Williams' remark that almost turned Canelo vs. Crawford ugly. A recent remark by boxing champion Claressa Shields, comparing her career to that of tennis star Serena Williams, nearly caused an uproar in the boxing world and has been a topic of discussion since it came to light. The comment, while seemingly innocuous on its surface, was made in the context of the highly anticipated mega fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, a fight that had already been bubbling with tension. Shields' comments were not directly about Canelo or Crawford, but they were made in an interview where she was discussing her own career and her aspirations to be recognized as one of the greatest athletes of all time, regardless of gender. She specifically brought up Serena Williams, a figure she has previously had a complicated public relationship with, citing a past encounter where Shields felt Williams was not fan-friendly. The remark that caused the stir was her statement that while Williams has been a dominant force in tennis, Shields felt her own accomplishments in boxing, including winning multiple world championships and 2 Olympic gold medals, were being overlooked in a similar way. She essentially argued that her body of work and what she has achieved in a much tougher and male-dominated sport like boxing should elevate her to a similar status as Williams. This seemingly harmless comparison took on a more controversial edge when it was picked up and framed within the context of the Canelo vs. Crawford rivalry. The narrative that emerged, particularly from some corners of the boxing media, was that Shields was not just making a statement about her own career, but was also subtly or not so subtly taking a side in the Canelo vs. Crawford debate. Shields is a longtime friend and supporter of Terence Crawford. The two have a close relationship, and Shields has been very public in her belief that Crawford is one of the greatest boxers of his generation. In the lead-up to the fight, Shields had already predicted that Crawford would box Canelo's shoes off, a statement that was seen as a direct jab at the Mexican superstar. When Shields' comment about Williams was reported, it was immediately interpreted by some as a broader statement about the pound-for-pound rankings and the relative greatness of athletes. In this interpretation, the comparison to Williams was seen as an implicit argument for Crawford's greatness over Canelo's. The logic went something like this: if Shields, a dominant and historic female champion, believes she is on the same level as a legend like Serena Williams, then her support for Crawford's claim to pound-for-pound supremacy must be taken seriously. Canelo Alvarez's team and fans were not pleased with this line of reasoning. Canelo has long been considered one of the sport's biggest draws and a pound-for-pound king in his own right. The idea that a female boxer's comments, particularly one who had a history of publicly criticizing a celebrated female athlete, could be used to diminish his legacy or his chances against Crawford was seen as a sign of disrespect. The situation was further fueled by the media and social media, which sensationalized the story and created a narrative of a potential feud between Shields and Canelo. While there was no direct confrontation between the two, the tension was palpable. The incident highlights the intricate and often dramatic nature of boxing, where a seemingly unrelated comment can become a flashpoint for rivalries and disagreements, threatening to turn a high-stakes fight ugly even before the first punch is thrown. In the end, Shields' comments served as a reminder of her strong personality and her unwavering belief in her own place in history, as well as her loyalty to her friend and fellow champion, Terence Crawford.